Greetings from American Flyer again. Today we're going to test out a tender from a 342 nickel plate engine. Apparently the tender is not working properly, so what we're going to do, we're going to test it out. If it doesn't work, and then we'll make an assessment and see what is wrong. And once we establish what is not working, we will make the correction in terms of replacement parts or wiring and what have you. So stay tuned. This is a tender from the 342 nickel plate switcher. The year of manufacture is somewhere in the mid-1950s by the A.C. Gilbert American Fly Company. As you can see, it is vintage. It's somewhat rare. It has a backup light. It has a link coupler. And the electrical pickup is by the electrical wheels, metal wheels. These are brass wheels. I will test it out to see if it clicks, to see if the reverse unit turns over, because the reverse unit is in the tender. What I'm going to do is I'm going to supply some power to the truck, one on each end. I hear a humming sound, but it does not click. If the reverse unit is turning over, you will hear the clicks. It may be locked. If it's not locked, we'll unlock it. If it's locked, we'll unlock it. And this is the mechanism to lock and unlock the reverse unit. You can hear it humming quite loud. So let's take it apart and see what's going on. This is just a basic repair job for those who are a novice to the repair realm. So I will demonstrate how to disassemble and then test it out again. The chassis is held together by 4 screws, one on each corner. I already removed 2. Now remove the other 2. Take a flathead screwdriver. Comes right off. That's one more. Little tweezers will help remove it. This is the connector to the engine itself. It is a 4-prong male panel that goes to the female jack panel in the engine. I do not have the engine here today, but today's focus is on the tender. All you have to do is remove it. It comes right off. Keep the screws together. You don't want to lose these. Here you have the reverse unit. This is the reverse unit. This is the backup light. In the reverse unit, you have what we call fingers. There's an upper finger and a lower finger. Basically, you got one. I don't know if you can see this. There's 2 fingers on top, and there's 2 fingers on the bottom. I will remove these so you can have a better view right after this. Did a visual inspection of the fingers. Apparently, you may not be able to see this, but one of the fingers actually has a pinhole in it. When there's a pinhole, that means there's no connection for electricity to go through it. That's the top left has a pinhole. The bottom one, actually, you can actually see the right side is actually broken off, so the entire thing is broken off. I will remove this so you have a better view of this. In order to remove the fingers, you have to remove the this top bracket. There's a tab here, there's a tab here. As you can see, there's a tab here, and there's another tab down here on each of the corners. There's one here, and there's one here. So what you do is you could take a long nose plier, or just a regular plier, and you very carefully twist it so it lines up with the hole. Right now it's twisted so it's on an angle so it doesn't come out. So anyways, this is what happens. So I already done that, and we'll try to wiggle it out. This one will pop up, the bottom one will pop forward. While I'm taking this off, I just want to point out to you that in order to replace the fingers, you have to unsolder 4 points. 4 points, one here, and these are actually all part of the top fingers. The bottoms is similar. You have 2 points, one here and one right next to it. So very carefully, this will come right out. And there you have it. This is removed. But in order to remove it entirely, it's essential that you have to unsolder the fingers. We'll keep the wires. The wires look good. There's no cracks. There's no splits. And it's pretty much intact. It's pliable. So we'll keep the wires. Take a soldering gun, we have to unsolder. Okay, this has been removed. We do one bracket at a time, so it's not to mix up the wires. This wire came up from up to the right, and on the other, actually it's this, yeah, and this one has 3 wires, actually 2 wires attached to this particular finger. I don't know if you can actually see this on the camera, but there is a pinhole in this left finger. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is a pinhole there. And you notice this is offset. I will bring out a new set of fingers to show you the difference between the two types. This is a new one, and it's offset to the right. This is the bottom finger, and that's center right in the middle of the entire bracket. Just a side note here, some of you folks deal with this is a post-war reverse unit. It's also a pre-war reverse unit made by A.C. Gilbert, and the pre-war is pre-World War II. I just want to point out that you can use the bottom. This bottom finger is universal for both pre-war and post-war. You can use both, either one. However, for the upper finger, which is the bracket that I just removed, the offset is opposite. In other words, the post-war is offset to the right. The pre-war fingers are offset to the left. So therefore, those are not interchangeable. The bottom one is interchangeable. Just to as a side note to let you folks who do both post-war and pre-war engine repairs, reverse unit repairs. So good to know. well, we have the top finger, so I'm just doing some cursory cleaning of the drum. The proper way is to remove the entire drum, but I am not going to do that today. I'm just going to do a cursory cleaning with a Q-tip and some alcohol, just to remove some of the bulk carbon buildup that's on the drum. It's not too bad though. This one is not too bad. In order to have the drum rotate freely, you have to unlock the bottom lever. See, this is the bottom lever. If I push it this way, it locks the drum. It won't move. But if I push it to the opposite end, this lever right here, the drum will move, and I can actually clean the entire drum. And that's it. So I'm gonna lock this again. What I'm going to do is reinstall the finger onto the reverse unit and then resolder. The tabs will go right into these square holes. It should it'll fit right into there. You just have to give it a little pressure, carefully pushing it in. Okay, the new set of fingers and the bracket is inserted into the two tabs here. In order to secure the bracket, you just got to make sure you push it all the way down until you can't go until it reaches the bottom of the shell. So we're going to do that. Pushing it down. Your snap. You notice it's flush with the casing here. It is flush. And very carefully, you don't want to break the tabs. These are very not so malleable, not so easily twisting metal tabs anymore. Over the years, it's become a little bit brittle. So very carefully and very slowly, you twist it ever so slight, just so that the bracket won't pop out. That's all you need, just a little bit. If you twist it too much, if it breaks, well, you're in trouble. And there you have it. All right. Now, the next step is to reconnect the wires. We've got to resolder the wires. I could start with the bottom one here first. Take a good set of tweezers. This one goes under and up on the right side. And then just resolder. Just give a little bit of solder on those 2 points. when soldering, just be sure once it's in place, let it cool off. If you move it before it's totally cool off, the solder joint may not hold. So once again, this is the top fingers. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And if you can actually see the side view, the fingers are touching the drum. Both of them are touching the drum snugly. Okay, that's in place. Now we do the bottom. The bottom, again, there's two. It's also a similar bracket, which is actually this one that's offset. Actually, it's center. It's not offset. It's to the center. Here's the top. It's offset to the right. This is just center completely. Just center. Okay, the bottom one is removed. If you will notice, the fingers are in pretty bad shape. The one to this side is broken off. The other one, it looks like it's intact, but it has a pinhole where the curvature is curving. That's where it touches the drum, and that is actually a pinhole there. So this is not good. In fact, the entire bracket is just so brittle, it just broke. Where the tabs go in is broke off completely. So we're going to carefully unsolder the two wires, but just be sure you know which one is which. The left goes to the left, the right goes to the right, and you don't mix it up. You could put some kind of a marking on there, or a red marker or a green marker or something, and just to remind you which side goes where. It's important that it goes back in the proper position. So now we just have to unsolder the bad ones. this is the bottom. This is the new one. That's the one I'm going to replace it with. So over the years, these are actually the original fingers. It's been in this tender over 60 years. I would say about 60 years. So it's time to change it out. What I'm going to do now is resolder each of the wires to the new one and then replace it into the bracket, into the shell. Okay, I got one in. What I did was basically I added a dab of solder on this is the back side, and this is the and the other side is the front end. I also added a dab of solder just to keep it in place. So now we'll go on to the second one. Okay, so there you have it. Solder points are in good shape. Now we just have to reinsert it back into its proper position, and we should be good to go. Just make sure these rectangular tabs are in the proper position. The rectangular hole matches up to the rectangular tab, and carefully press it in. You may have to use a little bit more pressure, push it back in. Okay, so this is it. It's all in. Now let's test it out and see if it turns. It clicks, the drum turns over, it's making contact. And that's it. Just replace the cover and you are all set. And that's another day for a repairing of a 342 nickel plate American Flyer reverse unit, top and bottom fingers. Thank you for watching, and if you like more of this, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.